Okay, so hey guys, today we gonna talk about a very important topic is the blueprint, and I'm gonna explain what does the blueprint mean and why we are using the blueprint. Also, we'll take introduction about the materials because materials is very important on Unreal Engine to create, for example, emissive light to your material, or even you need to create some animation stuff like flickering or any animation in your light related to your light. Let me check the Discord. Okay, this is gonna be in the first 2 hours, and in the oh, and the second 2 hour, in the second hour, the third hour, we gonna have what's called the assignment task. I'm gonna give you a assignment task. I will give you all the guidelines that you have to follow, and you try to do the practice in this hour. And I will be here if you have any question you can ask me. Just try to follow the task and try to finish within an hour. It's not big task, it's just very simple task. It's gonna be related to what we're gonna learn today. Okay, so let's start. In Unreal Engine or any software, there is something is called blueprint. What does the blueprint mean? It's a gate to create your controls. Like in games, the player has to move forward, move back, jump, attack, or open the door, close the door. Anything related to this control as a programming, you can create it in blueprint. In our side, as a lighter, we're using Blueprint to attach the lighting and the props inside Blueprint, and also to create some controls parameter to help the environmental artists or even other the lighting artists. As your lighting artist in any game company, the first task it will be assigned to you that you have to create light props. So the environmental artist will give you the light props like what we have right now. It could be lantern, it could be candle, it could be any light props. And as you can see here, it's empty. There is no light process, there is nothing. So what you have to do, you have to add the VFX like flame, for example. You can add the flame textures. Sometimes there is some VFX artists, they handle this, but some companies, they ask you if you can add the VFX because it's not that hard. Also to attach the lighting should has two type of lighting, one for the GI and one for the dynamic. Also, then you're gonna attach any VFX like what I showed you yesterday, like particles or dust or anything related to this light props. The final part is to create the controls parameter, because you this light props, it's gonna pass to many artists, and these artists, they need to use the same parameters that you have. So today we're gonna take step by step. We're gonna start to create light props, and in the end we will have fully parameters. Okay, we will not deep too advanced. It's very simple, and let's see how we can do this. So simply, the environmental artist will assign to you, for example, we have two light props here, okay? And we have to create the blueprint. So let's open these two. Okay, and we'll go back and create new folder, and let's call it blueprint. I already have one, but let's create a new one. Blueprint. Inside Blueprint, we're gonna create a new folder and call it light props. Okay, from here, let's create, right click and go to the Blueprint class. We have different thing here, but we're gonna select actor. Okay, now we have to take the same name like the light props we have, because the naming convention is something very important, and I will tell you what is the naming convention, because this something is very important in game 2. You have to follow the same names that they created for more organizing, and in the performance too, it's very useful. So I'm gonna take the same name and just create underscore pp blueprint. Okay, double click, and now we have a new window. So what you need, we can go back here and just say browse. If you press on this browse, it will find your assets here in the content browser. All you need, just drag and drop here. You see, now we have the light props here. From add, we're gonna start to add the light. So this lantern should has point light. Okay, we're gonna add point light, and let's move this here. To see the result, we can save it, compile first, and then save it. And I'm gonna say locate it, and let's drag and drop to the scene to just see the effect. Okay, so now I have this this point light. As I showed you yesterday, the GI light, it's okay to have long range, but be careful about your range, because you need to make real distance. So 1,000, we'll see if the 1,000 is enough. I think if we have a lantern like this, okay, this radius, it's enough for me to cast the light. You see, it's already covered this area. I think that's 1,000. It's good. And from here we can change the temperature. Let's go to 4,000. Okay, 4,000. It's good. In static, we have to keep the shadow. Okay, if we keep the light as a static, I will keep the shadow on. Okay, because it doesn't, it will not have any effect. From indirect light intensity, it's very important to add more indirect light. So let's put as 10. I think 10, it's very good for the baking. Will not have any baking, but just this overall review. Okay. And from, let's go back here, and we have to turn off the volumetric scattering intensity, and we'll put as a static. Now it's very important to rename your light. So let's name it lit underscore point light underscore GI, and in the end you have to add 01A. This is the correct naming convention, and the most of the company, they always use this method for the naming convention. Okay, so now we have GI lights. Okay, let's create another one. Control D. If you press Control D, now we have another light. And we'll keep the same thing and just change this dynamic. And you have to describe what is the range for this light. So I'm gonna say short range. Okay. One more thing is very important. When you write your naming convention, never leave a space. You can add you can write if you have two words, just start with capital letter, okay, or underscore, or use underscore. This is something very important too in naming convention. So never leave any space. Okay, so from here we will disable the cast shadow, and the radius should be something between this. At least when the player come close to the light, we'll have some dynamic light. Okay, so 200, I think that's enough. Okay, from the source radius and soft radius, we can change it to get some softness. But something very important I want to show you here. If we turn off this and let's go back to the GI, you see now we have reflection on the ground. This reflection comes from the light. But if you start change the source radius, you see the reflection start to change. So when you work on the light, just make sure that you add more soft radius. It's gonna give you more soft reflection. Okay, don't make it too sharp. So I would prefer to make it, yeah. Now we have nice soft reflection. And the same thing, let's see, 70 here. Okay, so in the dynamic, I could change the temperature to be more yellowish. 3500, for example. Okay, now if you move your light anywhere, the light it's attached with the assets attached with the light. Okay, so now this light props is ready to use in your game. You can copy and put it anywhere. Okay, but now if you put there and you want to change the parameters, okay, and this something is not in Unreal Engine. If you copy, if I have the light, okay, and take duplicate, if you change this, it will not be changed the master. So the idea to create blueprint, this is gonna be the master light props. That's mean if you do any change here, it will affect it in the other props similar like this. Okay, but if you just put your light as a basics or as a static in the scene, you need to select all the lights in the scene and then change the parameter. And this is gonna be something very messy. So you can do this in the game. So it's the best way to have your light props in Blueprint, and from Blueprint, we can create some parameters control here. Okay, to create parameters control, it's very, very, very easy. Okay, oh, we have Reja, Safa, okay, sorry. It's very simple. If you need to repack to your blueprint, just select your blueprint here. You can double click, or even you can go back to the details and press edit in blueprint. Okay. In blueprint, we have event graph and construction and viewport. Viewport, you can see your lights. Okay. In construction, here we can start to add controls. Okay. In Blueprint, it's something similar, the coding, okay? But it's very simple. How I can make control for anything here. So now I have the dynamic, okay? I have the dynamic light. I just drag and drop in construction here, okay? Just in case if you didn't see the construction window here, you can find it here, function, and you have this construction, and then script, double click on it, it will be open. Okay. The purple one, here is the master construction script. So that's mean you have to connect anything here to the master one. Okay. Now we have this light. So I need to export any information from the light, like intensity, the color or temperature, or even the radius. So just drag and drop and search for set. Okay. From set, now we have set intensity, set light color, whatever you are looking for. It's similar. Where? It is similar like here. So you are looking for intensity. So I will set intensity. I'm looking for the temperature, set temperature. Okay, so now let's start with intensity. Set. Oh, this is dynamic. Okay. This the name is too long. So let's scale this up. Set intensity. Remove it again and yes, okay. So set intensity. Okay, and from here I will connect it to the script construction. Now the green value, it's gonna be the controls parameter. Okay, so just the same thing, drag and add promote to vibrate. Okay, from here I can rename this. So what I need to call it, it's intensity. So intensity, I will keep it intensity. Okay, compile and then save. If you go back here, you see the compiling here, we have the intensity. It's appear here, but it's not visible. So you have to turn it on. Now it showed you that control is ready to use in the engine. Intensity now it's set to 0. So we will. I just need to turn this off first. Okay. And go back to the intensity here and try to change the intensity value. I think the radius need to change to be like, oh no, 300. Yeah, 300 is enough. And we'll go back to the construction and intensity. Yeah, 5,000, it's enough for me now. Okay, so when I compile and save, if you go back to your blueprint properties here, you see here now intensity, it's visible. Now we have the first parameter controls. If you turn this off, it will disappear again. And compile, you see, the intensity disappear. So just make sure, make this visible and compile, save. Now it's back. Now we can start to add as much as control you are looking for. So now let's add colors. So from the same light, I will drag and set color, light color. Okay. And now you need to attach this to this. Okay. So just attach it. And from RGB, it's the same thing, promote. And it change the name to light colors. Okay. You will not able to see any parameters here until you compile and then save. Okay, but this looks like is not what we are looking for because it's light color. It gives me just true value and false value. So this is not the correct thing. Oh, okay, sorry. We are not looking for the RGB. We are looking for new light color. You see here? So let's remove this. And from here, new light color, promote. And make the name, compiling. Now we have the light color. So we'll make the light color as white. Okay. Let's add temperature from the same one. Drag and search for temperature, set temperature. It's the same thing. So just connected, and from here, promote value, and just give temperature. Okay, so the temperature that we set here in this in this one is 3,500. So we'll put the same value, compile, save, and from the temperature, we'll put the same value, save it. Now we have to turn this on. Okay, so very simple. Now we have 3 controls. Just in case you need to have more organizing, like you need to put the light color is the first, and then intensity, and then temperature. You can simply just move this to up or down. So I will put the light color as the first here, and then temperature. Just move it. So now we have light color, temperature, intensity. If I save, it changed here also. Light color, temperature, intensity. Also, you can put them in groups, okay? But we are not looking for to create a groups now, okay? But if you want to do this, we have categories here, okay? You can create your categories. So I'm gonna create lights category, and from here, I will put the same name, okay?
You
If
can
we
also
go back
just
here,
drag.
sorry?
You can also just drag them into the category.
Yes, exactly. You can just drag it here, but you see now we have a new menu appear here. It's called lights. So you can create groups. So this lights, for example, the light color, and you can create another group for transform if you are looking for to change the transform. So now we can add more controls like radius. Radius, it's important, very important. So we'll add set radius, source radius, connected, and from here, promote, source radius. Save, and let's go back here to see the source radius. It's 300, so I will put the same value here. Okay, and you see the source radius is not attached to the group, so we have to go back, source radius, and you can drag and drop inside this group category. Now it's source radius here. Now let's try to see if this control, it works or not. So if I do change the temperature, wow, it works. So that's mean if I have 100 of these assets in my games, okay, if I change one of them here, it will not be effect on the rest. But if I go to the master and start to change the intensity here, this is the master, it will be affected in every assets related to the master. You see, boom, it's all affected now. So that's why we have to create the master. What's wrong here? That's why we always have to create the master for anything like materials, like textures, or even light props. Okay. Why I cannot? Okay, it's here. So in the light also, you have to add shadow controls. Okay. But in our case now, we have to add light cookies. Because light cookies, it's important to have different light cookies in your project. And then when you replace it in the scene, you can change the shadow to make the fake shadow to just have some variation. So I will drag and set a light function. Set light function material. Oh, no, not that one. Set light. Yes. Set light function material. Connected, and from here, promote, and this light function material, you can just name it matte. It's enough. Okay, and add it to the lights. So now we have light function material. You can also add the cast shadow, and two things here I would like to add it. It's set visible. Okay. This helped me if I want to turn off the light or turn it on to just see the result. Okay. Just in case if you want to hide your light or turn it on or turn it off. So set visibility and new visibility here, promote visibility, save. But I will not attach it to the group. I will keep it like this. Okay. From here, you have to put your visibility on. So now if I turn this off, the light, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. Okay, this more controls. The last thing, I'm gonna add a cast shadow. Set cast shadow. Oh, no. Set cast shadow. New value and shadow. Save and put inside the light. Make it visible. So now I have the cast shadow turn off, which is fine. But if I turn this on, we'll have the light. Okay. In Unreal Engine, make sure your light, this is dynamic. Okay, because this is a short radius, so that's fine to keep it dynamic. And the first one, as I told you, it's a GI. Okay, so now the light props is ready to use. You can submit it and review it with your tech art, and then you can add it in your place, in your scene. There is no way to add your light if you didn't do this in the beginning. So if you are working in the game industry or even the movie, it's gonna help you a lot. Okay. But in movie, that's fine. Nobody gonna looking for this. But in games, yes, you have to create a blueprint for each light props and add your library here. Yes, Nemi.
Just a quick question about
Yeah.
the two lights. So you have a dynamic and a GI,
Yes.
and all the controls you took from the dynamic light.
Exactly.
So the GI, it's just a static light.
Yeah, it's static light, but you can add control for sure for the GI to make
'Cause
more tests.
yeah, because at the moment you have control over the dynamic one. Like if I change the color,
Exactly.
yet the GI will stay the default.
You're
Is
right.
is that the way you do it, or
No,
you
you
add
have to create
control?
this. No, you have to create the same control to have both of them on your properties controls.
And can you explain again why you do the GI and the dynamic? Like this is for shadowing and stuff like that, or
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the GI is basically it's a static light that's gonna cast the light from in the map. It's gonna pick the light in the maps, which
Yeah.
is now I have source small radius for the dynamic, okay? But I need to have more light around this light props. If you change the dynamic radius, it will cost more in the performance. But the GI, it's gonna solve this problem. It will give you fake light effect.
Bounce. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Fake light bounced, but it's come from the GI.
Right. But
Okay.
you won't use two different colors for different
No,
like.
no, no. You have to create the same color. You have to create the same color. We are going to create the GI controls and
Okay.
set the same color controls also.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
So now we finished the dynamic lights. We have to do the same thing with the GI. Okay. You can add the same controls, or you can just add the color and temperature and intensity. That's gonna be enough. But one more thing you have to add it in the GI, it's indirect light illumination. If we add any light here, you remember, if you want to cast more light, we have here indirect light intensity. If I add it 50, this is the way the GI light gonna be works. It's gonna bounce it more light. But because we are using lemon system now, we can use dynamic indirect light. But in the GI, we will put the value as a 10, and in the baking, it will give us the same result. Okay, so basically, this is the idea from the GI. The GI, it's gonna bounce it. The light comes from the light props without effect on your performance.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's go back to the GI. Okay, and we can call the light here this light group, so we can say it dynamic oh dynamic light. Okay, now I will add the light GI. Okay, and do the same thing here. So set light color and connect it to the last one. And from here, promote light color. But you see now it shows to you we have the same name in the script. So we can just write like you can remove the space, light color. Okay, that's fine. Or underscore, add underscore, or even change the name. Okay, turn this on, compile, and change the color. And now we have to put in the new category. Okay, where is the category here? So GI setting. Oh, GI setting. Okay, so now if we go back here, you see we have GI setting and dynamic light setting. So now the GI setting, it's related to the GI light only. Okay. So let's create the same thing we did before. Set intensity. Promote GI intensity. Let's attach it to GI setting. And we'll go back here to the dynamic and see, okay, the intensity here, it's 5,000. So we'll put the same value here. Okay. Now the same thing. We need to temperature. Set temperature. Temperature, GI temperature, attached to GI setting, and the temperature will take the same temperature value. So 3,500. So this one, it's okay. We put this 4,000. Okay. So now we have intensity, GI temperature. The last thing is add indirect light. So now we set indirect light intensity. Okay. Connected. And this is the most important thing. So in direct, oh, indirect light. Mm. Turning this on and attach it here. In Unreal Engine, the good value is 10. Okay, this for the GI. Okay, so now if we go back the GI setting, now we have GI intensity, GI temperature, GI light, indirect light intensity, and we just missing the radius. So we're gonna add the radius to set source radius. Okay, promote GI radius source radius and attach to the GI setting. Okay, let's move it up. So now your light is ready to use. We have the GI setting and we have the dynamic light setting. Now your light, it's perfect, it's ready to use and ready to change your controls from here. You don't need to open the blueprint and change your parameters. So now I'm a lighting artist and I took your light props and put here. Okay, and I say okay, it looks like too strong for me, so I will lower the intensity to, oh, this is the GI. So let's go to the dynamic and intensity. Okay, or 1,000. Okay, so I'm gonna say okay, that's value is good for me, but I have different place which is could be has a more light intensity, so I will put it here. Okay, and from here you can do change your temperature, you can change the light intensity or even the radius. It depends on your location you are working on it. Okay, so any question? It was hard or simple? Did you understand or not?
I think we understand, but you know, it's too much, I think, for us to, because this is something new, but we understand the logic behind it, I think.
I know it's too much. Even the blueprint is not that easy, but believe me, if you just got the point, drag your light, and from the light you will expose your parameters. That's all you need. I am looking for temperature, I will search for set temperature. I am looking for the color, I'm gonna set the color. Okay, so if you just get the point, believe me, you will never work without Blueprint. Blueprint is everything. It's make your work much easier. It's make your work oh, there is someone still here. It's make your work more professional. And if you're gonna work in any game company, it's gonna ask you for this. In Ubisoft, they didn't ask us to do the same thing because we have different software, so it's different way, but it's the same logic. I take the light props from the environment artist or tech artist, and then put my light, have GI light, have dynamic light, attach it, add some GFX or VFX, and then save it and submit it, review it, and then submit it. So you have to follow the same rules here, okay? Whatever the software that you're gonna work.
Can you show me in the dynamic light?
Yes.
Do we have set radius of the light or not?
Yes.
Because
in the dynamic, yes, we have set radius here.
yeah, but
Dynamic.
didn't you said that we should keep like a small radius of the dynamic? I only change the radius of the indirect light. Why should we have like control over the intensity? I mean the radius of the dynamic light, or do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean. So now, for example, you have only one light source in the scene.
Okay.
In this case, you can make a big source radius. It will not affect on your performance. We talked yesterday about the lighting overlapping, but in your scene or in your location, we just have two light source. In this case, you can scale your radius. So it's not
It's
mandatory
no
to keep your
overlapping.
light
You
radius
don't have
is 200.
overlapping. Okay.
Yeah, it's about the performance. Okay. We add the controls to make sure I will not overlap between these two lights. But in my scene, if I just have one light, two light, four lights, I can do overlapping. That's fine.
Okay.
I can change the radius. Okay.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. So especially in the open world, for example, it's Skull and Bones game, I use a lot to have only one source light for the big radius to make more vibe in the character and the location, because we were in island and this island was really empty, so there is only one source light like flame or fire camp, so I can scale it as much as I can because it's only one light.
One light. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the problem is if we have more lights that are dynamic and overlapping, then
yeah, more than 4, it's gonna be problem.
Yeah, more than 4, that's problem. That's why we need to reduce the radius if we have more dynamic. Okay.
Exactly. But in movie, there is no limitation. Okay. So in the dynamic, in your assignment, you will need to create light cookies. So you can create your own light cookies from Photoshop, or you can even download it from the links that I sent it yesterday to just add light function here. So now we finish the part for the blueprint. Okay. Now we're gonna start to talk about the materials, but I think it's good to have a break for 10 minutes to just get fresh, okay? Because the material, it's different way. So just drink coffee or drink water, take a break, and let's go back after 15 minutes, okay? Because after the break, we're gonna talk about the materials. There is big thing, it's called light emissive. So how you can create textures that's gonna cast lighting from this texture. Like in Cyberpunk or any other games, we have a texture and this texture has emissive light. I think most of you know what is the emissive light, but we'll see how to do this. Also, we're gonna see how to make some flickering. If you have candles and you need this candle has some flickering, and we'll see how to create very simple material and follow the proper way to create master, and then take an instance, duplicate instance, and then replace it to our lights. Okay, so let's take a break and back after 15 minutes. All right, that's good.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks.
Can you leave the blueprint open?
Absolutely, yeah. Easy. Okay, so now we finished the blueprint side. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the materials. Okay, and why the material? It's very important as the lighter. Okay, let's create a new folder and call materials. Material. Okay, to create a material, you can just right click and create material. Okay, this one I'm gonna say master. Okay, but we have to start with matte, and let's say this light cookies master. Okay, because this is gonna be my master material. Okay, double click on this one. In Unreal Engine, we have this as a static, and this is called the shader, the material shader, which is you can change, make your shader translucent. You can make your shader, it's for the light function. You can make your shader for the hair simulation, for example, or even scattering if you are looking for scattering, or you need to assign this material to the particles. Okay, so if we go to the materials here, domain, you will find its surface, decals, light function, volume, even post-processing. We can create something is called post-processing material. Okay, for now we're gonna use light function. Okay, because we need to create light function. Okay, as you can see here, it's turned off all the setting and just give you the emissive color, because that's all we need here. Okay, so from here we have to looking for the light cookies. Let's go back to the PowerPoint file. What's wrong? Okay, so we have a light cookie here. Copy. Let's get one. I don't really like this, but it's okay. We can take this one and save it in your computer. And any texture has to add in textures folder. So try to organize your anything you imported to Unreal Engine, because it's very, very important to have organizing. The tick art can kill you if you don't put your thing in the correct folder. Okay, so just drag and drop. Okay, and now if we connect it to the emissive, it's gonna be works, but I need to create some controls to change the intensity for these textures. So what all you need, just press M from the keyboard. That's called multiply. I need to multiply the black and white and add some intensity here. Okay, to create this, just press 1 from the keyboard and left click. It's gonna create this parameter and connect it. Okay, if you save this now, we don't have any parameters control. Okay, so we need to do the same thing we did in Blueprint to expose the light the controls. To do that, just right click and convert anything here to convert to parameters. Now I'm gonna have parameters controls, and let's say this texture, and the same thing here, convert to parameters and say intensity, and put the value 1. save. And let's find this. Now we have a master material, will not touch it, will not assign to any light props we have. But I'm gonna create, right click and create an instance. And now I can name it, remove the instance and say this lantern, or street lantern, man. Street lantern, okay? So you can keep this without any light cookies, but I can go back here and just drag and drop this here. Okay. From here, if I open the intensity, the instance, we have controls. So now I can do controls. You see now how it works? It looks awesome. We have a fixed shadow without add any shadow in the scene. We get something very realistic. Just see the difference between this and this one. It's a big difference. And we always use this in the games to have the cookies. Okay. So let's save this. And don't forget to save. Always save. Okay. So now intensity, I can add more intensity. So now my lights, it's ready to use. Just very simple. Okay. Let's say, oh, we have candles here already. Wow, that's nice. Okay, but let's say I need to add pulp light, okay, inside the blueprint. We'll go back to the blueprint and add sphere. Okay, and this sphere we will move to here and scale it down. Oh, we can look this 0.2. We can turn off the align. We don't need to use the align right now. Okay, and let's say this the pulp light. Okay, make sure you remove the cast shadow. Just turn this off. Okay, pulp light mesh. Okay, we're gonna save it. Now we need to create the emissive material for this pulp light. Okay, so to do this, right click and create materials. Okay, and now we're gonna create the emissive materials that can cast light from the textures. Okay, from here we can just move this to not light function. Yes, we just changed the shading model to this one. Okay, unlit. Well, because I just need the emissive light. From here, I'm gonna press 3. It's gonna create colors parameters. Okay, 3 from the keyboard and then left click. I will keep the light as a white. And the same thing here, we're gonna press M, multiply. And here my color, and press 1 to create the control, intensity control. Right click, emissive intensity. Oh. And keep this one. And from here, right click, convert to parameters. Colors. Okay. So let's save this. And the same thing here, we can say it's matte. Emissive light, master. Okay. Now right click instance, and let's go back to the blueprint. And from the pulp, I will assign the materials. Okay. If I open the materials now, and let's put this here. If I add more intensity, for example, 50, now I have more light intensity. If I move the light, change the color, I have different light. Okay, let's see how this affect on the, but this is not professional way, to be honest. So we never add a bulb light like this, but I just show you the powerful of the emissive light. Okay, let's take cylinder and change the scale of this cylinder and just assign this one. Boom! The texture bounced lights. Now we have texture as a light. So I don't need to add any light anymore. So just texture has a light. And whatever I change the light color, the light will be changed. So now you are ready to create your cyberpunk lights. Okay. In the texture, we'll able to add flickering if we need to add some flickering. Okay. You will able to add anything texture we can animate it. For example, we could change this to laser or infrared. So I'm gonna say this gonna be a red color. Okay. Zero 0.1. Okay. And now we can say that's this is gonna be the infrared. Yes, Muhammad.
Sorry for interrupting. Is
Yeah.
it too heavy on performance when you use a lot of emissive lights?
Absolutely not. We can use it, but not for the big scale. So I can put as a light. But for sure you can cast some light from the texture, but in small distance, small range.
Thank you.
Okay. But yes, you can use it. As I said, now I can add more blending texture inside this texture to make it have some animation or foggy, or to make it foggy, but we'll not talk about this right now. But this basically how to create the material emissive. The material emissive, it's part of your work. You will have a lot of some emissive. So I have this light. Or you can make a sign, for example, sign for exit, and make this sign turn on, turn off, or alarm or warning. You see now? This is the emissive color works. Okay. We use this here, but not like this, because the bulb usually have some specific shape. So you can use it and even change the translucent to make it more translucent. But in the end, we have some emissive textures. Okay. So now if you have a pulp light inside the blueprint, okay, and you need to add the controls, for example, I need to change the materials, okay? So we can go back here to construction, and the same thing we did before. You can drag and drop your mesh, okay? And from here, set material, connect, and add material, emissive, matte. Save. And you can keep it blank or you can assign to this material. But I would prefer to keep it blank to be able to add any lights. So now you see the light props has no texture, but once I drag and drop here, boom, I have my own material. So you can create any other material or take an instance and change it. So that's why I tell you keep it blank. Okay. How was it? Confused or clear? Puba, you have something to say, I know. You mute. Mute.
Yes.
Yes.
Clear, but as I said, a lot of information. That's why
Yes.
all of the guys are silent.
Yeah. Listen,
But
every session, I'm always give you bunch of information, okay? And the rest will take step by step until you understand all this step, okay? This is the idea. Don't worry. We took a lot of information in the beginning, but we have a lot of time. It's 6 weeks, okay? Every session from next week, I think maybe next week or the week after, we'll start to just do practice. We'll cover everything we did before and start to cover this. And we'll say, okay, you do this mistake, how you can solve this. You forget this step, okay, how we can redo it. So don't worry about this. So just no rush, we have time. And believe me, we'll never end this workshop, even if we extended before I make sure you have a good export in the end and you understand everything, you solve all your problems that you have before. So don't worry. Don't worry. But yeah, if it's gonna be hard for you to do the practice, you can do your practice after you rewatch the video. I think it's gonna be better for some of you. But if you prefer to do practice today, that's fine. We're gonna have 1 hour for the practice. It's up to you. You can take it as a practice or you can take it off. That's fine. Or if you need to add more thing, that's fine. But I think today it's gonna be enough to finish in 2 hours because there was too much information and I don't want to distract you. Okay. So now we start to just take some basics for the lighting, okay, and some basic for the materials, okay. If we are looking for to create flickering, for example, I'm really forget how to do this. So, but we can search in Google UE5 light flickering material.
Maybe you can use noise texture.
Yes, it's I used it before, but I really forgot how to use it. But it's very simple, it's not that hard. There is 2 steps, I think. Light function. Yes, he used time and multiply and arrow. And then he gonna say yes, sign. That's it. Okay, let's try to do this together. Okay. I will go back to the master material. Okay. And let's see what's here. Multiply, sign, and time. So let's add time. multiply, and number one here, convert two parameters, flickering, he assigned to the time, and then he add a sign. Okay, and what here? Frac. Okay, yeah. Frac. Okay. But I think he gonna add something more to add the color. Tree. We could keep multiply and add this here, and let's see. Yes, still working. Okay. If we go back to the instance, boom, we have some flicker. But this is not professional way. But you see, just the material. This is the powerful of the material. You can add flickering. You can add animation. You can add a lot of things. Okay. So let's go back here. We don't need any flickering right now. Okay. So that should be enough. By the way, I don't know if it's gonna be clear for you or not, but if you have this light and you need to multiply with black and white texture to have some animation, okay? So let's try to get textures here. And I will take this one, okay? From here, I will add multiply, okay? And I will multiply with this. And there is a nice parameter, it's called panner. Panner, it's gonna make the texture move to X and Y, okay? And there is another thing, it's called rotator. We talked rotator last session, okay? But let's add panner here, okay? And save it. Oh, let's go back to this one. And let's find the instance. So as you can see here now, we have this texture, which is you can add it as a light emissive. But if you need to animate it, you can start to just move. Okay, I'm gonna animate it on the X. So 0.2. Let's see the result here. You see it's moved to this direction. So 0.2. Okay. That's good. So you can use this to add, for example, text as a sign to just have some animation. But this is just very, very basics, okay? You can even add more speeds. You can replace this texture with text. You can add text. You know what? I will open Photoshop and let's add text here. To just show you how to do this. And you see it's a reflect on the reflection. You can use it as a screen. You can put the screen. You can put it as a sign. You can put it as a text, like in a stadium. Or even you can use it as a hologram. Okay, so we have one texture here. Okay. Black, and this one, let's call it Linko Mentor. I'm gonna just drag and drop here. Save it. Because it's the scale, so we need to leave some space. It's the same way. Boom. We create very simple sign. You can change the black to something like screen RGB, you know, this RGB lights. You can search here and search for RGB screen picture. Yes, that one. You can take this. As a lighter, you always have to think about anything related to lighting. Okay. Save it. And drag and drop again here. Boom. We create the screen. Welcome to Linko Mentor. Okay. After we go more deep in material, I will show you how you can scale your object and keep the texture in the world space. There is something called world position, which is mean whatever you scale your object, your texture will not scale it. It will stay in the same scale. Okay, so it's something called world position, but we'll not talk about this now. Anyone has any question? It's clear? Okay. I know it's too much information. I'm very sorry, but this is very important part. Okay. So yeah, as I told you, you can create different thing. So your assignment, I will write the assignment and I will send it to you. So the assignment to create the same thing we did here, to create one light props and add some parameters control. And if you have time, you can create emissive lights, just basic emissive light. Okay. It's better to take the screenshot. Okay. Oh no. Yes, I will add comment here and say press 3 to create colors. Color. Colors. Okay. Press 1 to create this intensity. Let's add this here. Okay. And this texture, drag and drop. It's gonna be much easier for you. Oh. So here, press M to create multiply. Okay. And this one, slide function, will take screenshot and will add highlights. Okay. If I press 3, let's put this here. So this for the emissive. Okay. Screenshot. And take this. We'll send it to you on the chat. Where notes resource. I will send it in the resource. What's resource? So now if you want to just go back to this texture to understand how to use it. Okay, let's save this and let's go back to the blueprint. Okay. Same thing here. But I would like to have this and add some marker. So P construction. Oops. To add controls. Oops. Let's go back and double click here. Okay. And we'll take screenshot also. Okay. Right click and search for set. And from set, you can search for intensity, light color, whatever you want. Okay. And here, oops. To get this here, right click, select promote. Promote. You see promote to variable. Oh yeah, promote to variable. So just make sure you use this, not the first one. Okay, promote to variable, or we can take a screenshot. Yes, it's better. Here. Just make sure you don't forget this. I think this is much easier, right? Okay. Okay, so now for me, I finished the session, so we can start now to do some practice in these 30 minutes. I'm here. Just try. Each one of you try now to create the blueprint, and we'll see if you facing any problem. I will show you how to do this again. Okay? Is that okay?
Yeah. Can I
Yeah.
show you what I have?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Please.
Should I share my screen?
Yes, you can. Do I have to stop sharing?
I think you have to give me permission or something.
Um,
You cannot start screen share while the other participant is sharing.
okay, so
yeah.
I'm gonna stop sharing.
Okay, now I can.
Cool.
You see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
So I created this
Nice.
VP street light post.
Okay, cool.
Go in. Well, if you look at the settings here, let me make this bigger.
Wow.
So we have what we did, the GI light temp,
Wow.
dynamic light with the color, and I also created the cookie. This is an instance of the master. My naming convention is slightly different. I just, for materials, I use
Yeah.
MI for material instance,
Yeah.
and then I also added this particle here,
Wow.
which has the settings as well. Like I can change the particle color,
Wow.
the lifetime spawn rate, or if I want, I don't know, 2000
Yes.
particles or whatever. I also have the location, so it's currently it's in a sphere. We can make
Yeah.
this smaller or
Yes.
bigger.
Yeah.
In the
Wow.
blueprint itself, usually
Wow, that's
I
awesome.
comment this so we know what's what. If anybody
Yeah.
else comes to the blueprint, so they know
Yes,
this would
exactly.
be the dynamic.
Yeah, I missed to add this comment.
Yeah, this is something that I try also with my team
Absolutely.
to get them to comment their blueprints, because
Yes.
if you work with a team, you want people who first time open your blueprint that
Absolutely.
they know what's what. So this would
You're
be the
right.
GI.
Yes, that's correct.
And yeah, and this is a little bit advanced, taking the parameters from the
Yeah.
particles.
Yeah,
So
particle. Yeah. We will cover this after.
yeah, so this would be
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
my
awesome. I
blueprint.
think
I
you,
also
yeah.
I don't know if you mentioned this, but with the cookie master material, I converted this to a parameter.
Yeah, I mentioned this.
Yeah, you did it? Okay.
Yeah.
I probably missed it, but
No,
so
that's fine.
yeah.
Yeah, it's here. Oh, where? You see here. We have a parameters to change it. Oh, I stopped sharing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
if
yeah,
I
I
look at
mentioned it. Yeah, I
my
mentioned it.
yeah, you did. So
Oh,
we
that's
can
awesome.
I
I think you're gonna
switch.
be absent in the particles, the particle session. Yeah.
No, it's always good, you know, because
Wow, that's
I don't
awesome.
know everything, so it's
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Great job. 100%. It's
thanks.
very organized. It's really nice. Wow.
I don't know
Awesome.
how to
Good job.
I do know how to stop. Yeah. Okay,
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
thanks.
So yeah, you see here we have a parameters control. And yes, as Nimi said, guys, in the it's very good point in Blueprint. try to always add comments to just make this more organized. I just added it very quick, but if you have just till here.
You want me to put a screenshot of
Yeah, sure, please do it. Okay, so till here we can add
I was going to tell you to do so, but yeah, thank you.
You can press C and add a comment and say this the dynamic light, this is the GI light. So just make it more organized, like Nimi did. And it's best way, because if as he said, when you work as a team, the other teams they need to know where the GI setting, where the dynamic light setting, for example, where this setting where. So to add comment even in the textures, like I showed you here in the materials, it's good to add some comment to say here for example, because in the material we're gonna have a bunch of controls. To see this control for the intensity, this control for the animation, this control for the color. So to add any comment, just press C, and it will create this one. And you see once it's created inside, when you move this, it's gonna move it with this parameter. You can scale it, you can move it anywhere. So that's a good way also for the organization. And this is gonna make listen, when you work in any companies, they give you 3 months as it's not a training, but that's like tryout, you know. You just want to see your performance, how you gonna manage your tasks, the review from your tech art and art director and the other team, the feedback from them, how you gonna manage your task. They are looking for very smaller details. So if you pass after 3 months, if you pass this period, you will be stay in the company. But if you didn't pass, they will come to you and they said, we unfortunately you don't meet our required, we are looking for someone more professional than you. They will never tell you this, but they said, no, you are not good enough for this position, so you have 2 weeks, for example, to find a new job, and we are sorry for this. But that's why we try to always learn techniques, the advanced techniques, the workflow, the pipeline. It's very important for you, because in industry is not about your tools you are using, even if you are professional, if you have 17 years or 20 years experience, but it's all about how you gonna manage your work and how you can deliver your work as a team. Because in the movie industry or any company, they have a specific workflow, like Confluence page that's gonna have to follow all the information from them. They have something called Jira, for example, to receive the task, and you have to follow everything in this task. For example, at Ubisoft, as I told you before, we have a level of details for the lighting, L1, L2, L3. Even if I can add L3 from the first day, I can do this because I have to follow the rules. The rules, it said, add L1, which is don't waste more time. Just add the light props inside the engine, and that's it. So if you said, okay, I have time and I will spend more time to do this, the art director will tell you, or the tech art, why you do this, or your manager. You have to follow the rules. So make sure you follow the rules. Don't work from your mind. It's very important. Until you get approval from your manager, you can ask your art director or your manager, okay, I have something in mind, I want to share it to you, can I do this? If he said yes, that's mean you can do it. Okay. If you are lead, that's mean you have freedom to do a lot of things. You are managing some stuff. You will give this information to the junior and the senior lighter. So that's why I'm always give you the same principles that we are using in any company. because I worked before with the movies industry and game industry. So it's the same method. So you take the task, you have to follow the task, finish your task, ask for review. After review, if it's done, submitted, that's it. You finish the task and press complete from Jira. You finish the task and you start to work on the another task. I will have some virtual session in the end to show you the Jira, how it works and the workflow inside the companies to just make sure that you understand how you will receive this task and how you can manage it. Okay, but this is gonna be in the end week, the last week. So yeah, as I said, now we finish. You can take 15-minute break and then we'll back again and I will be here. Just try to start to create your light props blueprint and create one emissive texture, and that's it for today. Okay, if you can't and you don't want to stay, you can leave if you have anything to do. For example, Nimi, it's okay, you already finished your task. That was awesome, so you don't need to stay. If you want to leave, that's fine. It's up to you guys. If you want to stay, let me know. If you want to leave, let me know. It's up to you. So
I did
what?
post the image on the homework help section.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I added also the sequence node, so if just to make things cleaner, what the sequence does is just goes from one to the other so it's I don't know if that's something I'm just so used to using it just to make things cleaner, because otherwise you have to go like in a straight line or
yes, exactly.
you know.
Yeah, that's perfect. By the way, guys, Brandia, she made very nice lighting. Let's see this, and I can give her some feedback. Wow, that's so nice. I really love it. Good job, Brandy.
Thanks.
Nice.
Wow, this is sick. I really love it. Okay, it's really nice, but has too much lighting, especially in the window. Okay, but still nice because it's a neighbor, so it might has a lot of window, so there is no rules here. That's really, really nice. But what I would prefer, you can turn off this light. It's too big and it's front of the camera, because now the attention to just look for this area. Okay. The bloom light and the light, it's perfect. It's bloomy. It's has some foggy. It's really cool. I love it. The dark area here, it's okay, but the shadow is too sharp, which is at night we need to have more soft shadow. Okay, this area, it's perfect. You isolate it from the background. That's very nice. I can see some fake light here. It's really cool. Maybe the color need to have more blue. Okay, light blue, because it's looks cyan more.
Yes.
Yeah, because you see here there is different.
I added cyan on that's why.
Yeah, I can see this.
Yeah,
But overall, it's perfect. You can cut your image. You can remove this because here it's bad textures. Don't show the bad textures. Okay, so you can take your image like this. It's very, very nice. It's really nice. I love it. You can remove the fire, yeah, because it should be cast more light here, but you already have a lantern in here, so you can remove this one, or even you can keep this area dark. The fog, really nice. I love the fog, and the God rays also. That's cool. That's very cool. Love it. I love this area because you make a lot of things visible. I never seen this before. This water or the liquid, the assets lit is not dark. Even in the dark area, I still see See it? So this area, it's perfect for me. But overall, it's perfect. Great job. That's awesome. And why I like this scene, because you did something out of the box. You use the window to bring more attention, and this is called the highlights.
Yes, yes. I've added a
So,
texture also, as you have shown in the last session, no? So
yes.
I've used the texture to get that effect. Yes.
Wow, that's awesome. That's very nice.
Thank you.
Good job. Okay, guys. Oh, nice processing. I really love it. I never expect this, because this is the first time I'm teaching lighting. I'm always teaching lighting as just take one session on the YouTube or in event, but I never follow some like workshop or follow the session from the beginner to advanced. So I'm really happy for what you've been done. I know you are very talented. So you made my day. Thank you. Yes, Mohammed.
Thank you. I have, please, a question for her, if possible.
You have what?
Thank you. For a question for Pradnya.
Yeah, sure.
if
Take
possible.
time.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have
It's
time.
Yeah,
about
sure.
the. Thank you. It's about the windows. Did you replace the texture and add a new texture? Did you created the texture on Photoshop,
I
right?
have created an emissive texture,
In Photoshop?
and that
Yeah.
I have added a
Yeah.
texture. What he
Yes.
had shown us today in today's session, I did exactly the same thing.
Like the
I
light
used the
cookies, right?
material. Yes.
Okay.
Light
Thank you
cookies.
so much.
Or
Just
you
want
even
to.
you can use a window like emissive, so you can search for window, okay, and bring window and add it as a texture. So let's say this window, okay. We remove. Let's go back here. Okay. And we can add it. It doesn't matter to add lights. You can add a texture. But if you remember in last session, yesterday, I told you there is another way to add a visual parallax texture for the window. But you can just make it very simple now. Orange, make it more orange. Oh. We can add some black and white to have black edges where here you can say this 20. Oops. And let's say that I have some black area here. Drag and drop. Remove this and replace this one. You see now it's much better than before. We have some dark edges here, but this is not the correct way to add it. So you can add any textures. You can find some interior kitchen, and you can add it in this white area to fake the window. But as I said, in the advanced material, I will show you how to create the parallax material, parallax texture.
And that was for the interior stuff, right? Like what they did in Spider-Man.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, for the interior. But even in the exterior, because we have now exterior scene, and I need to see something inside, to not just emissive. Emissive, it's a bad way.
Yeah, it's flat.
Yeah, it's flat. It's flat. It doesn't give you good controls. Yeah, but for now you can use this. Okay, and if you want to add some fake light, just around, you can add it here. By the way, I forgot to show you something. Do you remember when we talk about the light cookies? There is a secret in light cookies I didn't tell you. Last session I told you the pulp light, it's cast shadow 360. Okay, but what if you want to use the pulp light or point light and just make this light cast shadow in one direction? Okay, so I need to block this side and just keep this light lit. So in this case, you can use the IES texture. And here you see it's 180 degree. This is 90 degree. If I use the 90 degree, the light will only works. Well, let's bring this off in this side. So that's mean you can put the spotlight. If you place Hitman, for example, they always use this because the point light casts more shadow than the spotlight. Okay, the point light casts more light than the spotlight. So to plug this side, now I'm plugged the back side from the pulp from the point light, and I just keep it like this. If you are in the construction area at night, you should add some lights, street lights. It should be like this. So IES light also, just make sure you read the information here. This 180 degree, 90 degree, complex is for the interior. But here we reach, that's why I told you last session, it's called reshape your light. Because this cones is the shape of light. So the spot, it's a cone. You see all of this edges, this is the shape of light. But when I change the point light, oh, the point light here is a sphere. Let's bring this here. You see, this is sphere. It's fair, but IES, it's gonna reshape the light. It's reshape this grid. So by using IES, there is a software, I forget to send it to you. I will send it to you today to add, you can create your IES light from beginning, okay? And then export the texture and import it to Unreal Engine. So yeah, that's one more thing I want to show you, just in case if you want to block one side and keep the light from only one side. Okay, so yeah, that's it for now.
So can I use an IES on a spotlight as well?
Absolutely, yes.
So because you mentioned that in Hitman, for example, they use a point light.
Yes.
Because it's cheaper, or
no,
what's the reason?
The reason you need to keep the 90 degree as to cast more shadow without to have big cones. So
Okay.
the point
Yeah.
light, you see the what's called the
You have
spotlight.
more control. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Has more control.
Gotcha.
So here, because the spotlight is already has a cone, but the point light can give you more light. You see, the 90 degree
Yeah.
doesn't make difference.
Yeah.
We always use this as a flashlight. You can use it as a flashlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends.
So,
In games, usually they make their own. It depends on the flashlight. Like, you know,
yeah.
there's a lot of attention goes into that. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Cool.
in Last of Us, they
Yeah.
use flashlight, and Uncharted use the flashlight too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's in lighting side, you can make a lot of things by using texture, by using cookie, by
Yeah.
using IES. So there is many things you have to use it
Yeah.
to just get your mood.
I actually did a project where it's VR, but you have to
Mhm.
walk in this scary tunnel at night, and you have only a flashlight.
Okay.
But we also had to add the mechanic where when you when you see something or when you see a creature or a monster, it
Uh-huh.
reacts to the light, right?
Wow.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
need to also add
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I saw something like this to screaming
yeah.
if the creature saw the light, it's screaming or burning.
Yeah,
Wow,
which
that's
is
something.
cool. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Absolutely, it's cool. Yeah, the development and programming side, it's
Fun.
crazy. Yeah, it's very fun.
I
I'm
mean,
always called the
most of the
programmer.
time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always called the programmer. They are the Einstein. They are
Yeah.
the genius. It's genius people in the world. They are the programmer.
Yeah.
So yes, the mistake. Boom. So yeah, we done. Now we can end the session. I will stop recording and I will finish this session. You can book me on Discord because it's gonna take at least 1 hour to just save the recording on my computer. But I'm here in Discord. If anything you need me, I will call you from my phone and we can discuss. Okay, that's good. Take a break, and as I said, you can work on do the practice or not. It's up to you. You can the rest of the day now. It's up to you. And next week we'll have a new information and try during this week to some practice. Except Mimi, he already did. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this session, guys. I know it was a lot of information, but yeah, take your time and try to take it step by step. And as I said, I'm here anytime. Just send me, book me on Discord, and I will be answering. Okay? That's good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone has any question before we end the session? No?
Can you share your blueprint for study because I have already lost it somewhere. I'm not
Sorry?
able to. Yeah.
Sorry, what you say?
Yeah, can you share your blueprints, screenshots? Like, yeah, I don't remember the steps right now.
Yeah, sure,
Even
sure.
though, yeah.
Okay, you know what, guys? I'm gonna migrate this folder and I will send it to you.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so you will just copy this slide and put it in content folder.
Okay.
And you will find it. I think it's gonna be much easier for you.
Oh yeah, to study. Yeah, we will study that one.
Okay, that's perfect. I will create a new project and we'll migrate this file.
Thank you.
Okay, anytime, no
Yes.
problem. Okay, guys, have a good day and
you.
yeah, see you next week.
Thank you, Karim.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Fine.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.